West Ham in 2022 according to Football Manager 2017. The move to the London Stadium was supposed to be the beginning of West Ham climbing the football ladder, but it hasn't quite worked out as planned, with the Hammers failing to break the monopoly of the top 7, instead having to settle for mid-table obscurity. There have been some changes at the club though. Slaven Bilic is no longer in charge, with the Croatian now patrolling the touchline at Derby County. West Ham's new manager is Paulo Bento, and he's no longer working for Sullivan and Gold, who sold their shares in the club in 2017 and 18 respectively. So with new ownership, let's look at how West Ham lined up at the beginning of the 2022-23 season. In goal is Bartlomiej Dragowski. Now unfortunately, we don't have any pictures of the young Polish stopper, so here's a picture of a dog instead. Isn't he lovely? Dragowski will still just be 24 in the year 2022 and has a bright future ahead of him, so it looks like a good piece of business from the Hammers, who are currently linked with the move for under-fire England goalkeeper Joe Hart. At right back is CYRUS CHRISTIE. West Ham paid Derby County £9 million for the fullback, which just sounds like far too much money, and that's exactly what it was, with his performances for the Hammers leaving a lot to be desired despite his attacking exploits. They had a similar problem with Sam Byram, who I always fall into the trap of buying on Football Manager, with the former Leeds man failing in every aspect of defending. Good job he's a bit better in real life. Centre back is Antonio Rudiger. Not the most expensive signing in this West Ham side, but quite a marquee signing for them, with Rudiger arriving from Roma for £11 million. The Germany international is a reliable and dependable figure at the back, and there was no David Gold around to tweet a picture of ANGELO OGBONNA when he arrived. Win-win. And next up it's ANGELO OGBONNA. Speak of the devil, the Italian defender is still at the London Stadium and is actually a senior player now at the age of 33. Meanwhile, Winston Reid is rotting in the reserves, and James Collins and Jose Font have both retired. Poor Winston though, he turned down European football for this. Left back is Jordan AMAVI. The Frenchman had bags of potential when he arrived at Villa Park, but he still doesn't seem to have realised it in 2022, now playing for another side in claret and blue. AMAVI arrived at West Ham via Watford for £6 million, but is seriously struggling. It's fair to say this West Ham side are desperate for some new fullbacks. In the middle of the park is GEDSON Fernandes. Yet again, we haven't got a picture of the young Portuguese midfielder, so here's that dog in the West Ham colours again. In his early 20s, Fernandes is on loan from Benfica and keeping some big names out the side. West Ham veteran Mark Noble is on the bench, and he's sitting alongside former gunner Jack Wilshere, who's on loan from Real Madrid. I wish I was making this up. Next in midfield is Pedro Obiang. The second current Hammer in this 11, Obiang is probably the most consistent player in this West Ham side, continuing his form that we saw last season before he was struck by injury. In 2022, Obiang will have hit the big 3-0, so West Ham may need to keep an eye out for a potential replacement as he enters the twilight years of his career. On the left of midfield is Grigoris Kastanos. An exciting young midfielder, the Cyprus international joined Juventus as a 16-year-old, and on Football Manager had a few loan spells away from the club before joining West Ham for just £5.25 million, converting him into a winger in the process. You may be interested to know where former Hammer and permanent Snake Dimitri Payet is. Well, he's retired and unemployed. On the right it's Jesse Lingard. Member of the Dab Nation, because apparently that's a thing, the happy-go-lucky Jesse Lingard cost West Ham £17.5 million from Man United in 2018 and is now valued at £26 million at the age of 29. The lack of Paul Pogba at West Ham may be dampening the England international spirits, but he's doing enough to keep current Hammer Michail Antonio out the side. Our attacking midfielder is Manuel Lanzini. The final player in this starting 11 who is currently with the Hammers, Lanzini is still the creative force through the middle for West Ham, but the lack of consistency to his game has stopped him from going to the next level. We've seen flashes of brilliance from the Argentinian, but we'd like to think Lanzini will be doing a lot better when the year 2022 actually comes around. And finally, it's Antonio Sanabria. Finally, West Ham have splashed out on a striker. They paid £25 million for the Paraguayan forward in 2019, and I guess you could say it was worth it, with 15 goals being his best return in the 2020-2021 season. In 2022, SANABRIA is worth 31 million quid and a target for Manchester City. If he does leave, permanent sick note Daniel Sturridge is waiting in the wings, having left Liverpool to join West Ham for only 7.5 million. The transfer was anything but a hit though, with Sturridge currently occupying the transfer list. The poor lad can't catch a break, can he? So that's West Ham in 2022 according to Football Manager 2017. Let us know what you think in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And make sure you check out Footy Feed for all the latest transfer news and gossip.